Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking Love Island UK Season 10, Episode 9, I believe. I know you guys will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But nonetheless, the topic of this video is, did Ella go too far, right? And here's the thing. Ella's my girl, and I'm going to stick beside her, whether or not you think she's unhinged. Whether or not you think she's unhinged, what am I talking about? So, spoiler alert, if you have not watched today's episode that aired on, of Love Island, basically what happened, the episode left off with Ruchi and Ella being in the bottom two, and basically the Islanders had to decide and deliberate on who was going to stay, and so TYRIQUE was really the only one that stood up and said, hey, I have the strongest connection with Ella, I want her to stay, I think her and I have the best potential. And then some of the other Islanders were like, well, we really like Ruchi, and Ruchi is our best friend, and she hasn't really had a shot at love. So everything was swaying towards Ruchi staying based off of the edit, until ultimately I saw Mendy stand up and deliver the news, and I was like, oh, this is karma. This is a get back, and ultimately Ruchi was eliminated, right? But that's not the issue at hand, right? That's not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is the behavior of what is taking place between TYRIQUE and Ella, right? And it has some people triggered. It has some people upset, right? Because people are ignoring the gaslighting that is taking place from TYRIQUE. People are ignoring him cutting off Ella repeatedly anytime she tries to express herself or defend herself or explain herself as to why she feels the way that she feels. Ty immediately interrupts and goes into another direction. And here's the thing. I love Ty. I love Ella. Ty is perfect for reality television. I see why he is BFFs with Toby. This is like Toby on steroids. This is like Toby unhinged on another level, who is so blunt with these women. And also an extreme flirt and completely unserious, and is getting all the camera time because he's the most attractive man in the villa and he is the most interesting man in the villa. So therefore, any bombshell, that's going to come in, they're always going to select TYRIQUE on a date because he basically is our producer this season, right? He is our producer this season to instigate drama with others, as well as his own drama, right? So with that being said, he has told Ella repeatedly that he's not completely closed off, that even though she is his quote-unquote favorite, that even though he says that they have the best connection, he's still going to explore other connections, right? He is still going to explore other connections, right? And see what's out there. Now, what that translates to me is what's different what it translates to you. What it translates to me is that TYRIQUE knows Ella is his one, right? Even though he has over 100 bodies, has no experience in relationships or anything like that, right? He knows Ella is his one. He knows she is bad. She is 10 out of 10. She is gorgeous. Her body's insane. Nobody is touching her in that villa, in my opinion, as far as looks are concerned and her body and all that stuff. Nobody's touching her. She's on another level, right? But TYRIQUE knows that this is a show that lasts for 2 months, right? This is a show that lasts for 2 months, and you need content, right? You need content, you need drama. And if TYRIQUE pairs himself with Ella for good, and like kind of how what happened with Mitch and Molly initially, where it seemed like they were just going to automatically lock it in because Molly was saying day one that they should start matching outfits. That's not what TYRIQUE was having planned, right? Because he knows that what's going to happen is that's going to fade into the background, and that is going to decrease his screen time of interacting with the other Islanders. And I caught game firsthand when this happened with Jess, when he was spending all this time with Jess, before the other bombshells came in, and he was flirting with her and he was telling her all these things, and I was like, he's unserious, he's not interested in her, that's not his type. But what happened was Jess caught feelings, and Jess thought, okay, since my connection with George isn't working out, and I'm not, and the only other person I'm interested in the villa is really Mitch, but he's obsessed with Molly, so let me see if this thing with Ty can happen, right? And then ultimately what happened was Ty had to friend zone Jess because she was really getting attached and thinking, okay, we're kissing in challenges, you're spending all this time with me, you're flirting with me, you're gassing me up, this is going to lead to something, except for it was not. Except for he just wanted to waste time and he wanted to be on camera, and that is the same game that he is playing with everyone else, you guys. That is the same game he is playing with everyone else. That is why Jess said that he was two-faced in the game today, right? Because he is being two-faced, right? He is telling Ella that they have the strongest connection and that he wants to continue to pursue things with her, but he has also ignored her for the past 2 days as well. He has also mugged her off, you guys. He is also spending all of his time with Leah, you guys. Right? Spending all of his time with Leah and barely talking to Ella, right? And, you know, and here's the thing, right? These are the same people who were like, oh, Ella needs to stand up for herself. Ella is looking stupid. Ella has low self-esteem and blah, 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 blah. And so today, Ella finally stands up for herself and says, you know what? I'm not going to be mugged off. I'm not going to be embarrassed out here on TV and look like a fool. If you're telling me that I'm your strongest connection, why aren't you talking to me, right? And TYRIQUE didn't even remember that he's basically ignored Ella for the past 2 days. She had to lay out the very limited and short encounters that they had over the past couple of days because he literally spends the entire day talking to Leah about nothing. Talking to Leah about nothing. All they do is flirt and give innuendos about sex and sex positions. Nothing of substance, nothing that is relevant, and it's not going anywhere. And she keeps asking TYRIQUE where this is going, and he's telling her he's not going to make a decision anytime soon. And she's still sticking around. She is still entertaining the madness, but Ella had enough today and cussed him out and walked away, you guys. And she looked amazing walking away because she's in this white jumpsuit that is, you know, highlighting, you know, her Coke bottle shape, and TYRIQUE is in his feelings. He reminds me so much of Nelly with this whole swag, with this whole demeanor, and trying to be this player in the villa, and it's just hilarious. And so I don't think Ella has the memo that TYRIQUE is doing this on purpose, that TYRIQUE is always going to be all in on Ella. But it's just too soon, right? It's just too soon. We're literally in the second week of the show, right? And TYRIQUE knows that he needs to provide content, right? And if he, like I said, is just wifed off with Ella right off the rip, that decreases his screen time, right? Like, look what's happening with Catherine and Andre. We don't even know whether or not they have a good connection or not because they're back in the shadows, right? They're back in the shadows unless there's drama, right? And that's what happened with Ella and Ty, was we barely saw them together, but we always saw them kissing in bed at night, but we never really saw them on a day-to-day on what their conversations are actually about, right? We always just see them when they're having random banter, or it's going to lead to an argument, or there's gaslighting and all of that, right? We never see them have like a full sit down like we saw all of the 10 conversations that TYRIQUE had today with Leah, right? That still were nothing of substance, was still not on the level of the connection, of the passion that is between Ella and TYRIQUE. I think eventually they're going to get it together, but I implore the Love Island producers, please bring in some black men. Please bring in some tall, good-looking black men as bombshells, please. Please do not have us wait another 3 weeks until Casa Amor to bring in somebody that is Ella's type, and she could potentially be out of the villa by then because she is not going to be able to deal with this for another 3 weeks of TYRIQUE's madness. So we need somebody in now. We need somebody now that is going to shake the table, that is going to make Ella the priority, that is not going to be brought into the villa to, again, be added to the interest level of Molly to get screen time and all of the things and cause drama with Mitch and Zach and all of that. We need somebody in there for Ella, you guys. So that way TYRIQUE can get a taste of his own medicine and really see somebody that is actual competition, that is taller than him, that has a neck, that is cuter than him, really go after Ella and go after her full throttle and pull out all of the stops, lay out the red carpet for her, and treat her how she deserves to be treated. Because like she told Catherine when she was getting ready for tonight, she said, I am too pretty to be going through this, right? And I am not going to stand for this. So why people are turning against her, I have no idea, right? And maybe her realness is too much, is too real for reality TV, right? Is too real for reality TV, but at the same token, the toxicity of, what is taking place between Ty and Ella is only going to go to the stratosphere, you guys. They are a final couple in the making, you guys. It is giving me, like I said, Toby and Chloe on steroids, where it is going to be a lot of tussling. It is going to be a lot of back and forth. It is going to be chaos and carnage when Casa Amor hits, and somehow they'll end up back together, right? Somehow towards the end they'll end up back together. They'll go out on dates, they'll go on the hideaway, and all of the things. But it's too early now, because Tyrique knows that he has to deliver a show. And Tyrique's best friend, Toby, also was on this show, and he was also in charge of Toby's account while Toby was in the villa. So he knows full and well, you know, that he can't just right off the rip, you know, say, hey, Ella, this is it. This is it. You're the one for me. We're done, right? I'm done with all the other girls. I'm done with flirting with all the girls. Because that means no screen time for him, right? That means no screen time for him. That means he cannot infiltrate what is going on with everybody else and see what's happening with everyone else, because he's going to be preoccupied with spending all of his time with Ella. But he doesn't want to do that right now, right? Because he knows that his screen time will be back in the furniture like Andre is right now, right? And he knows that that is not what he wants. So he is going to continue to ride this out for as long as possible. And it's funny because he's actually telling these women to their faces basically what's happening. Like, I cracked up when he told you know, Leah to her face, oh, you got a backbone now. It's like, this guy's unhinged. This guy's unhinged, and he has lost it, right? So there is that. So, but I do think eventually Tyrique and Ella are going to get it together, because there is a fiery passion between them, and production would be a moron. They would be idiots to let go of Ella anytime soon, because she is providing drama, and so is Tyrique, right? And they're giving me, like I said, a Chloe and Toby on steroids, right? So there is that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.